Hey, what's up guys, it's me theSR back with another video, and in this video I'm going to tell you how to get that bokeh-licious photos in your standard kit lens, zoom lens or even on your prime lens. So with that being said, let's get started. So guys, before getting started, you need to understand how bokeh is formed. Bokeh is formed due to the compression made from your lens into the camera. So how the compression is formed are by three methods: focal length, aperture and the distance of your subject from the camera to the background. So the distance is one of the most basic thing you need to understand for any kind of photography, and especially subject and portrait photography. When your subject is nearest to the camera and further away from the background, you will get more blur in the image in the background. So the background blur is basically what we call bokeh in higher term, or a shallow depth of field. So to get a really nice bokeh or a background blur, you have to place your subject near to the camera as possible according to your framing and further away from your background. So second thing you need to understand is focal length. The focal length in basic terms you can understand is the distance your lens can cover. So longer focal length means the longer range it can cover. 80 mm, 100 mm, 200 mm are the longer lenses, and the standard lens can cover 18 to 55 mm. So how to get a decent bokeh from just adjusting focal length? You can adjust the focal length to the longest end or the furthest end of your lens. For example, I have 18 to 55 mm, which is standard lens. Most of the people think that they can't get a bokeh-ish photo from the standard lens, but there are few tricks I'm going to tell you in this video. You have to zoom your lens all the way till the highest number, the longest or the furthest end of your lens, which is in my case 55 mm. Zoom it to all the way. Bokeh is formed with the compression of the lens, and longer the lens, the zoom the lens, the more compression in an image. So 200 mm lens will get more compression in an image compared to 18 mm lens, hence creating more blur in the background. So the next thing you have to understand is aperture. Aperture in simple terms you can understand is the opening of the lens. And for bokeh or background blur, the wider the opening of the lens, the more background blur you will get. Smaller the number, the smaller the f-stop, the wider the lens. So 1.2 is wider than 5.6. So if your lens is set at 1.2 and zoomed in all the way to let's say 200, you will get amazing compression, amazing background blur in your image. But zoom lenses does not support 1.2. Prime lenses, for example 50 mm or 85 mm, support still 1.2. And in prime lenses you don't have zoom support, so that's why you have to just adjust aperture to get the background blur. In zoom lenses you have flexibility to zoom all the way in, then set it to the widest aperture possible. In my case I have to zoom all the way to 55 mm, then set my aperture to the lowest number possible, which is 5.6. when you zoom it all the way in, then place your subject near to the camera as possible for the image framing and further away from the background as possible that you can adjust. Then you will get a delicious bokeh in your background. So guys, this was the trick. You have to just adjust your aperture to the lowest number, zoom your lens if you have a zoom lens or a standard lens all the way to the longest end of the lens possible, then shoot your subject nearest to the camera. Then you will get a decent or good amount of bokeh in the background. If you have a prime lens, you just have to adjust the aperture and ISO and place your subject in an angle that you can get a background really nicely blurred. You will get nice bokeh balls or different shape of bokeh when you have light in background. There are few tricks I will tell you in further coming videos, but this was a trick guys to get a really nice bokeh in the background. So guys, most people think that on the standard lens you can't get a really nice portrait photos, but this was a trick to get a really nice portrait photo on even your zoom lens, standard lens or prime lens. You have to just adjust the focal length, aperture and the distance of your subject to get a really nice bokeh in your portrait images. So I hope this video helped you in some way or another. If it did, just give it a like, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay tuned.